to show you today how to add a tattoo to this figure so that it looks believable. So this is the file that we're going to start with, but before I show you or walk you through, I always like to show what the end goal is. So let me click on this file here, and this file here you can see that we have a tattoo that looks like it's actually on the skin of this figure. Oops, excuse me. So I'm going to just zoom out a little bit and you can see that it looks like it's actually on the surface of his skin. So let's jump back to figure at the beach here. And the first thing I always suggest doing is doing Command J just to copy the background. And then I'm going to take and turn off this background layer here. All right, then with layer 1, I'm going to come up to File and go to Place Embedded. When I get here, I'm going to search for my file that's named Tattoo and press Place. All right, now that I have the tattoo or this image placed here, I'm going to now just do Command T, which is already set here, and I'm going to enlarge it, but also rotate it a bit. And then while this is selected, I really don't want the head of the dragon going towards its back. So I'm going to go to Edit and then Transform and then do Flip Horizontal so that I can see it the way that I think it should be on the figure here. Also, while this is selected, I'm going to now go up into the Change the Blend mode and come to Multiply. Multiply will allow me to be able to see what it would look like because it takes all of the white, it removes all of the weight from the image itself. All right, so now I'm going to kind of just move this around and kind of place it where I think I might want it here and just kind of change the scale, whatever you think might work best here. So I probably will do something like this. And then I'm going to do a little tweaking to this. So it's pretty bright, and a lot of tattoos, when they are drawn onto the skin, they start to have kind of a little bit of a green undertone to the black ink. So I'm going to come in here and do an adjustment layer here, and I'm going to scroll all the way down till I get to the selective color. Once I have selected color open in my properties panel, I'm going to go to, I'm going to navigate down to black. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so that we can see this. Hold down the shift bar in order to kind of move it in place. And then I'm going to come to magenta, and I'm just going to slide this to magenta. You see that it's making it really green, and I don't want to add it a ton of green, but I just want to add a little bit. So probably about this -7 might work well. And then I'm going to come to my black dial here, and I'm just going to move this back and forth a little bit, and I don't want to do too much, so maybe a -2 might be just right. Now I'm going to click over to layers, and I want to make sure that this selective color is connected only to the tattoo. So I'm going to hold down the Option key, hover between the two, and now I'm just going to add it to the tattoo. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is by selecting the tattoo layer, I'm going to now come in and do another adjustment layer here, but now I'm going to come to, let's just do levels. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this back and forth, right, to kind of see what I want. And I actually want to make it so that it's a little lighter here, and I'm going to probably take the center here and just kind of move it back and forth a little bit, just so that it's not as strong. I really want it to look really like a tattoo on the skin. All right, and you can see that I already have it connected here. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is click back on the tattoo layer here, and I'm going to go to Filter, and I'm going to come down to Liquify. Now when Liquify comes up, see, I'm zooming in, and I'm going to hold down the space bar in order to kind of move this over a little bit, like this. And then if you can't see both images, this is where you want to make some adjustments. So Show Backdrop. Here, you can kind of go and look at showing different parts of the file that's shown up here. So you can look at different things here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do so that I can see both the tattoo and the figure here. So I'm actually okay with the way it looks here. I'm going to come up to this very top tool here, which is the forward warp tool. And I really am going to try to zoom in so I can see a bit better. And really what I want to do is, and I'm just going to make my brush smaller just to show you that around the edge of his arm, right, it curves. And we want to make sure this tattoo looks like it's curving around and not just that it is like slapped onto the surface and we just trimmed off here. So with that being said, I'm going to now go back and open up my brush and make it much larger here. And this takes some kind of finagling. You can see that I'm moving in and moving out just so that I can kind of see what sort of part of the frame I get to see here. I'm going to come up to the brush, and I don't know if you see what I'm trying to do is I'm taking the brush and I'm kind of only going to about halfway. And then I'm going to start to kind of around here. I'm going to pull this into, and then just kind of adjust my brush as I'm trying to work on this a little bit. So you can see here that I'm grabbing just a little bit of the tattoo and also kind of the outside here so that I can really make it look as much as possible like it's wrapping around the arm here. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing here on the back part of the arm here. And if I grab too little, which I initially did, I'm gonna come in here. I'm just gonna just ever so slightly kind of move this up a little bit. Again, the goal is just trying to make it look like it's wrapping around the arm. And then I'm gonna come to the bloat tool here. And in this instance, I'm going to come on top of the head of the dragon and I'm going to press the bloat. Just a quick click like that. And when you're looking at the brush tool options, it's set at 500, the density at 50, and then the rate at 80. I want to be super careful here that I don't I don't exaggerate it, but I can do a little bit of quick clicking to think about where parts of the arm maybe bulge just a little bit so that I can get it to really kind of look more like, and if you don't like something, you can just do the Command Z and it will take you back one step. Okay. All right. Now that I think I have it the way I want it, I'm going to press OK. And you see how I just modified that when I added this liquify? So this was before. And then this is the after, and it really helps to make it look like it's dimensional. All right, the next thing I want to do is I need to come in and put a mask on this. So now I'm going to, with the tattoo layer selected, I'm going to click and create a mask. And then with the brush tool selected, I'm going to now come in and I'm going to brush away anything that would be on other parts of his body, not the arm itself. So I'm going to now come in and click like this. Now this is going to be important that you adjust your brush. So you can do, I generally, when I do masking, I'm usually somewhere in this hardness range here. I don't know, maybe let's go to 70. Let's see what that looks like. You want to be careful not to do too much softness, because then it just will look strange, right? It doesn't look like it's, part of or on the actual image itself. So now I'll do some on the back part of the arm here, like this, and make sure that it really looks like it is just on the arm itself like that. Okay. Now that I've done that, I'm going to do one more thing just to make sure that this really kind of looks like what I want it to look like. So I'm going to click on the image itself in the tattoo layers here, and I'm going to right click where I'm going to go to blending options. And when I'm in the blending options here, I'm just going to move the dialog box over a little bit. And by holding down the option key, I can break this toggle and kind of move things back and forth. And you can see that I want him to have darkness behind the arm here, but I really want to make sure that the darkness exists also on the tattoo. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I can do the same thing by holding on the option key here, and then I can move this back and forth. And you can see how much difference. You really just want to be super subtle. Whoops, looks like I didn't grab it. There we go. And then I'm just going to bring this so that it's just ever so slight, like this. And you can also do it here as well and see if that makes a difference, right? So if you want to add a little bit more lightness, you can play with this a bit here. But this changes the entire tattoo, not just the outside here. So I think this is looking probably pretty good. Let me just come in here and see if I want to make any adjustments here. So I might do something like that. And then I'm going to press OK. All right, and then I'm just going to do Command 0 so that we can pull back out. And here you can see that we have a tattoo that's been added that looks realistic. I hope you enjoyed it.